All right, so let's get into this halo effect, all right? Let's kind of talk about the definition and then how this is actually going to be beneficial for you to be aware of and kind of implement into your tool belt or your toolbox of skills and competencies in the dating world. All right, so I want to go with a very simple definition for the halo effect. And let's just go with it's the tendency for a positive impression to influence opinion in other areas. So a great example of this is in the attraction and dating world when we see someone who's super attractive to us, okay? Male, female, doesn't matter. Just imagine someone attractive. And stop me if this sounds familiar, but because you found somebody to be so attractive, you're imagining that they're just this great person and they have all these probably other great qualities. They're probably smart. They're probably kind. They're probably successful. They're probably just, like intelligent and good and all these great qualities. And you really don't have any evidence for it beyond that they're physically attractive. All right. So that's what the halo effect is kind of explaining is that, hey, you see one good sort of quality and you start kind of, whether you know it or not, so you can even do this at an unconscious level, is you start throwing in all these good impressions, these good opinions about a person that they really haven't deserved yet. Maybe they are true, but probably not. So it's not really fair to look at somebody who's good looking and because of that assume that they're smart or that they're kind or that they're a good person. Yet we all still do it. So this is where awareness comes into play. That's why I want to talk about it in this video, because with awareness, what we can do is catch ourselves at least doing it. All right. So we all have seen good looking people and we've all kind of just, our heart skips a beat or we get nervous. Why? Because we're actually kind of creating greater pressure by making them into more than we know of them. All right. So because they're good looking, we might be intimidated just a little bit or feel a little bit of pressure because, well, that person is good looking to us. But beyond that, now we're lumping in all sorts of pressures like, well, they're good looking and they're smart and they're good and they're kind. So then you get just in your head and even more nervous. So this is a great way for us to become aware of this halo effect so we can minimize the sort of internal pressure that we're putting upon ourselves needlessly. All right. And you and I both know that when it comes to attraction and dating, if you can limit your nerves, that makes a big impact as far as how you kind of perform or relate to people. So we want to take every advantage that we can. The next thing that we want to understand is that when we're aware of this halo effect, we can avoid the pedestal treatment of treating somebody undeservedly well. All right, there's nothing wrong with treating somebody well, provided that they deserve it. All right, oftentimes, one critical mistake that we make in the dating and attraction world is this pedestal treatment of treating somebody on a level that they haven't yet deserved or haven't qualified for, just because we want them to be so important, so high that we're undeservedly granting them this position way up here and us down here at the same time. Not very good, not very successful sort of strategy. So we want to avoid that pedestal treatment. Awareness of the halo effect is one way that we can do that. Also, with awareness of the halo effect, it can prevent us from making just huge mistakes as far as thinking that somebody is out of our league or getting into our head too much or putting too much pressure on ourselves. We can prevent those sort of mistakes because with awareness of this halo effect, we can say, hey, let's temper this sort of enthusiasm. Though this person is good looking, that's all I know about them so far. Super easy to talk about, more difficult to actually implement in reality, right? I know that. But the first step is awareness. I'm not saying that it'll be easy for you to do when, to kind of turn off that thought process and temper it back down to what should be reality. I know it's more difficult, but awareness is the start. And last, I just want you all to understand that when you understand this impact of the halo effect, you're gaining that much more information, awareness, and understanding about how attraction and dating really work. What are they influenced by? You're learning one more thing that you can be aware of, that you can kind of use to not make those simple mistakes that oftentimes can be the difference between success and failure or shooting yourself in the foot needlessly. So there it is. the halo effect, and why I believe it's very important for us to become more aware of and understand better for greater success in the attraction and dating world. It's hard to win at the online dating game when you haven't been taught the foundational lessons that impact your experiences and success. So let's change that. Click here to watch all 8 videos from our Online Dating 101 playlist, and click below to visit onlinedatingdynamics.com to take advantage of free dating and online dating resources and to learn more about our online dating game strategy guide.